Lovers of freedom, I greet you all. Pastor Vam 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 here once again. Our worst days are over. Fellow Biafrans, I bet you with my 10 fingers and my 10 toes that it can only be better, only get better. Now you're going to see the picture I have used as my display. It's a picture that speaks volume. Picture with many, many words. You will see Joe Biden, the president that just left in America. You will see Barack Obama, the one that brought him in. And then you will also see the impostor president of the Zoological Republic. That was the figure of Nigeria, the impostor, Boko Haram. And then there you will see the ones that sold Biafra land. You see, what do you call him? Rochas or Korocha. Then you are also going to see, what is this Benin State former governor? What's the name of this Benin State former governor?
Obaseki.
Not Obaseki, the one before Obaseki. Oshomole. Ah, you are incorrect. You are correct. You are in tone. So, fellow Biafran. So, you will see that Oshomole is the one that has also sold the part of Biafra that is in Edo State, which is Igodomi Godo. So when we talk about Biafra, Igodomi Godo being Biafra, is Oshomole that will rise up. You remember, yes, also talking about Obaseki. Obaseki is the one that NGOZI Orabufulani, NGOZI Orabufulani is talking with. You understand? So that one is just by the way. But what am I trying to talk about? This particular picture is evidence to you that these people are the trouble and the nightmare of the indigenous people in Nigeria. Biafra, we have already made our choice. We already made our choice. How? We have resolved to leave that Zoological Republic, and we did what we call self-referendum. And the results are everywhere. The results are everywhere. The evidence of the video is there. The digital evidence is there. We showed it at the last concluded convention. And now, ask yourself, what are this bunch of sellouts doing? There's one very important person you will see there. They call him the founder of Boko Haram. His name is Shetima, the current vice president of that zoo. You saw him there. This is where they agreed to remove Nigeria from the list of terrorist sponsoring countries. Obama was involved. They removed Nigeria from the country that is massacring Christians. And you know, in this whole world, Nigeria is the worst place for Christians. As a Christian, you cannot build a church in the north of Nigeria. You cannot build a church and be safe in the middle belt of Nigeria. And now they are spreading it to the south and the west and even the east by promising that they will enact a Sharia law, Sharia system in a secular state. What am I talking about? Nigeria is already an Islamic state. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya, and immediately he was kidnapped, they did all manner of things to break the law, to make sure that he remains perpetually in their dungeon, even though they have been exposed and nipped to the bud. But proud before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, what happened in his house? You will all remember that 28 people were murdered just because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was targeted to be killed. 28 people. And as a result of that, we are remembering Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's father and mother who passed away from the trauma they received from that encounter. And remember that immediately after that particular disaster and massacre in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house, that is when they gathered this bunch of people you have seen their pictures here. Rochas Okrocha, Oshomole, and some other eastern governors. They tagged IPOB a terrorist group. IPOB that we were all indigenous people off. They tagged us a terrorist group. Amara, how are you, Amara? Can you wave to the camera and greet my Biafran family?
Hello.
Amara, say, oh, hey, Biafra.
Oh, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's my handsome nephew. And today is the birthday of his elder brother. That's why we are here to celebrate. Yes, Federico, the big Federico. So, what am I talking about? So I'm just sharing these things with you so that you will be able to connect the dots. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's life was in danger. Thank God he escaped. And even though he escaped with his life, they still went to Kenya to kidnap him. Today they are calling IPOB a terrorist group. Terrorist group? Like seriously? IPOB had members all over the world. They had association all over the world. Nobody have ever tagged us or seen us to be terrorists. Even with all the accusation they accused Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, till the last time they took him, nobody have found IPOB to be a terrorist group. Nobody. And now today, IPOB have metamorphosed into a government that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how he wanted it. Today we have Biafra Republic government in exile. And we have a de facto government. And the man in charge, the true disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, he is also in their, web right now. They took him away in Finland, collaborating with Finland. You see, all these things is just to make sure that Biafra does not come. But these men are men of steel. These men are rugged, tough men, unbreakable. Even though they bought a lady and put her in the midst of this Biafra Republic government, after the taking away of our prime minister, you can see the lady mesmerizing and doing all manner of nonsense, including the sacrosanct date of our declaration, changing it from 2nd of December to 29th of November, and it still stood. Biafra, United States of Biafra was still declared. And moving on, we are fighting for recognition, and everything we have done so far have been legal and legitimate. The only illegitimate thing going on right now that everybody knows and is clear to them is that we have only one prime minister, and there's nothing like deputy prime minister. Only one prime minister. And this prime minister have given permission that he has an acting prime minister in his absence. So this evil woman masquerading herself as deputy prime minister has failed on arrival. That is why you must have seen the latest memo released by our prime minister from his place of holding. And this letter was released by his self-attorney, Marianne, a learned Finnish lawyer. Many of these things will blow your mind when you begin to put one and two together and connect all the dots. Everything is working out in the favor of Biafra. The lines are falling for Biafra in pleasant places. This is the season for Biafra. This is the period for the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon this earth. And I, Raphael Chamaka Ajere, aka Pastor VAM VAM VAM, the self-acclaimed armor bearer of the Prime Minister, I have vowed that the legacy of my Prime Minister must be kept and held tight, and nothing will corrupt it until Biafra is fully and completely restored. So please watch this video and make sure you follow us on Twitter, follow our information minister, follow our APM, Mazio Gechikunkere, on Twitter. Please follow us on Twitter and be updated. Make sure you read the latest memo released by our Prime Minister. And do not be deceived by the impostor that calls herself NGOZI Orabουeze, whose real name is actually Nkechi Blessing Ezeobika, and who happened to be a Fulani stooge, married previously to Fulani, and observing and upholding the Islamic tenets. We saw her praising and hailing Prophet Muhammad. We saw her. So we have no problem with Muslims, but we are not Muslims, and we do not uphold the tenets of Islam. We are not, because we are a Christian nation. We have traditional religion and also Judaism religion. such religion is the only one acknowledged in Biafran, and any other thing apart from that is in being imposed on Biafrans, and we reject it outrightly. Just like NGOZI ORABUEZE is trying to impose Islam on us. So all these people you see in these pictures, see them. They are the organizers and arrangers of the Islamic State of Nigeria. That is why today it has been exposed that this government you saw that just left America was the one sponsoring Boko Haram. No wonder they are working together with the Nigerian government, even up to today. After the ousting of Buhari, now Tinubu is there and they are working with Tinubu to make sure that Islam holds sway, that Islamic fanatism holds sway in Nigeria, that Nigeria become an Islamic state. But Nigeria originally was not supposed to be an Islamic state. It was supposed to be a secular state. But the reverse is the case because of those faces you are seeing in this my DP. I am going to leave you here. Let me not bore you with a lot of things. I just wanted to put many things together in a bunch so that you will understand. I love you all, but Chukwu Kabiama loves you more. Please, until I see you later, remember we are moving. And today, by the grace of Chukwu Kabiama, Biafrans will be gathering to continue to raise funds for the Biafra Liberation Army to protect and preserve our land and our heritage. Airborne! Airborne!
Airborne! Oh, Biafra!
We move. Thank you so much, my darling. All right.